Hello friends. In olden days, people used to make separate packets for their expenditure and for their income also, for their savings also. The expenditure packets will include maybe for house rent, maybe for groceries, maybe for commutation, maybe for emergency cash, maybe for their travel which is going to be scheduled, all the stuff. So they were very regulated in making those packets of apportionment. Similarly was the savings. They used to save some money for their education, some money for their future, some money for their trade and commerce and stuff like that. And mind you, my dear friends, this was nothing short of a financial planning. They did not go to Harvard to reach them, but they used their common sense. They were very principled and disciplined in their finances and in their financial regulation aspect. Now, tell me, how much was their family so big in the olden days that they were managing the entire family very efficiently with this financial planning? They were not highly educated, but they had discipline. They had determination to save, and they had a control over expenses. These made them educate all the people, satisfy all their desires, made their necessities and needs very important and priority over their expenses, and saw to that the entire family got uplifted into prosperity. Now, let us keep this aside. Now, let us come to the modern era. Now, what do? We try to spend before we save. Because we try to spend, we start spending on fancy things rather than trying to think whether it is really a need or a necessity for us. And because we start spending more and more, we start purchasing credit cards and we end up having credit card loans. We end up having personal loans. We end up having so many other types of loans just to cater to our needs and just to cater to our desires, in fact. See, desires are not wants. Need and necessity should be your want. Now, my dear friends, the olden generation never had a credit card. The present day has lots of credit cards at their disposal. Banks are luring you. Banks are tempting you to spend more. Banks are making you debtors. And banks are virtually taking off all your money through credit cards. Now, how we can stop all these things? We will have to make a very strict financial planning with what is very important to be spent and what need not be spent or should not be spent, which is very, very important. Now, for that, what you should do is, you need to form a plan, a budget, of what goes out of my salary and what I should not be spending it on. If you are able to control this, I'm sure you will become a master of your own financial planning. You need not go to the Harvard University and learn, but you definitely require a sort of discipline for your personal finances. For your investments, I do recommend for you to go to a financial planner to see which type of investment can give you better rate of interest. But for personally managing your finance, you need to have a chart. You need to have an Excel sheet to see what goes out and what should not go out. For that, the first recommendation is keep your savings first to be spent on your income and then your expenses. Your expenses should be not more than your salary after the deduction of your savings. This is a very important message, my friends. We all end up in a mess. We all end up in a financial crisis. We all end up in a financial shortage only because we spend and then we try to save. And if at all there is a money, only then we save. Otherwise, we don't spend. And this will definitely harm our financial planning because when there's a need and a necessity, once again, we don't have cash to take it from our emergency funds. We once again take a loan from the credit card or from the bank. See, this becomes a very haphazard way of your financial planning and for your future also. So, the message which I'm going to really say to all of you is save before you spend. And when it comes to your spending, try to apportion what needs to be spent as a necessity and what you should not be spending. In olden days, if you remember, my dear friends, we used to buy new clothes only on festivals. We used to go out only once a month or hardly once in 3 months for a hotel or a restaurant because, we did not need that. We were very agile and smart enough to cook very delicious food at home. But now, we had credit cards to spend our money, we had hotels to go and spend our money for, and hence we start falling short of money. That is why we resort to credit cards. And at the same time, we don't give importance for tomorrow because our savings are not that great priority for us. For them, savings was a priority. That is why they were always cash rich. For us, we don't save before we spend, and that is why we go out to seek a lot of loans. So, be financially disciplined, be financially strict, have a control over your expenses, and see that you are cash rich at any point of time. Happy investing, happy saving, and all the best.